Oh, straight into it. All right.
It just says it.
Yeah.
There you go. We got it sorted.
Hi, everybody. You're watching Nordic Pro Podcast. It's Richie here. Today, joined by Mr. Mason Howell, Howells, photographer here in Norfolk. How we doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks. How about you?
Yeah. uh, little bit of a run round. Thought we had technical issues, which is a normal Nordic Pro thing, but yeah.
We got it to work in the end, so there's nothing to worry about.
So, I'll just jump straight into it, really. Uh, how did you get into your photography and that?
I started at college. I did because at the beginning I first did college diploma for 2 years in Norfolk. So big up Norfolk for it all. When I first started, I didn't really discover a lot about live music until my mate, who was in a band at the time for college for their music stuff. And I remember them messaging me saying, would you be able to come down and take a few photos for us? And I was like, I've never really done it before. And I was like, I might give it a shot, give it a try. And since then, the rest is history now. This is now doing what I love now. Something I would thought I'd never get into, and now doing it full time.
Yes, I would. I'll be honest. I can't remember a gig I've been to over Norwich Way that you weren't there. Yeah, it's sort of like, um, yeah, you're literally like them all, really. Which shows like what sort of good reputation you've sort of built yourself. Um, okay, someone banging the kitchen. That'll be all right. um, so that's throwing me out now. I do apologise. Uh, so so about music and that. I mean, like, how does that feel on the fact that, like, yeah, with your photography and that, and your love for metal music and that.
Yeah.
How does that feel on the fact that, like, you basically get paid to watch something that you love, or like,
Um.
sort of,
Yeah. I
if you
get
get
what
what
you
I
mean.
mean.
It's like, of course, when I first started like the metal shows in Norwich, I was only 18, so I was starting to become an adult, and I remember going to Voodoo Daddies when it was like the old one. If you remember the old Voodoo Daddies.
No, I only know the one that's in the basement, like
Yeah.
in Norwich, sort of thing. I don't. Up until the last year or so, well, the last couple of years, I ain't really sort of never used to go to Norwich that much. So
Yeah, because of course with me, I used to go to the old Voodoo and do shoots there because at the time I didn't really know much venues, and of course I used to go to the Mail to the Masses, used to see other photographers over there, and I remember being 19, I would say, is when I remember going to the glass house with Rory or Graphic FX, who does all the illustration for shirt designs, the posters for Mail to the Masses, all them. And I remember him talking about my photography, and he went, "Oh, we can talk about you shooting for us for Mail to the Masses if that's something you would be interested in."
yeah,
And of course, for me, I'm not from Norwich. I'm like only like 40 minutes away from Norwich, so of course back then it was quite hard to go to all the venues. And then of course getting the train back because I used to miss the headliners for like the main thing they wanted me to shoot for. And I just remember, of course, recently I'm studying now at university in Norwich, doing a photography diploma, and it's really approached so many bands. But during the time I started, I was doing it in a smaller venue, and then worked my way up to Norwich, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So yeah, because I started shooting at the Hunter Club in Bury St Edmunds.
Right.
So I used to do like the smaller shows, but they were still like, I would say, metal, more chilled out, not like the stuff I do now. So some of the bands, there were a band called Fleas, who are I would say like on the rock side of music. Really good band, and I remember I used to shoot for them quite often. And then they were used to always mention the opportunities around in Norwich, and I remember looking more into it. And then when I built it up in college, of course, done all my work on the photography side of gigs, I took a gap year and then worked on working at more shows in Norwich, and then that's where a lot of people will see me around at Brick Makers and Voodoo and taking photos for all these bands.
Yeah, it's awesome. Um. So you say about doing your course and everything. Is that right? That's in Lynn, or is that
No,
Norwich West? Oh,
Norwich.
the university, you know. Yeah. So,
Yeah, you're all right.
sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
And so what kind of kit do you have? Your camera and stuff. It's all. I don't understand cameras, but like sort of.
Yeah. So, quite recently, I think I've had my new camera for over like probably 2 months now, but I'm currently shooting with a Sony Alpha A7 II
Right.
and only a prime 50mm lens because Sony cameras are ridiculous amount of prices, and being a student and affording that is crazy money. But I recently got it because it's my passion. It's something I used to really love, and I was like, why not treat myself to something what I like doing? So I don't need to have an old camera I used to use back in the day. Was an alright camera. Of course, it got my name there, but it wasn't like the best one in my opinion.
Yeah, I suppose getting a slightly pricier one is like investing in yourself.
It was too much money. It was ridiculous. But if it's something I want to get into full time, then you need to put, of course, the money in to get the equipment.
Yeah. Um. Oh God, sorry, that thing's threw me out. Really threw me out.
No,
Everything I
you're fine. You're fine.
had. So I mean, you say about the camera. I mean, like we see each other on Saturday, and like you were showing me just the stuff straight off the camera, and well, just look at that last band outside. I mean, that was poor lighting, yeah. Them
Oh,
pictures were still
yeah,
really good. So
yeah. The lighting wasn't the best, obviously, because it was night and it only had little lights. I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at them recently on my tablet, and I was like, "There's some nice ones, but at the same time, I'm only going to probably post only two." But yeah, that was such a good show. That was. I really enjoyed going to Rampage Fest and having that opportunity.
yeah, that was extreme. That was really good. I mean, like I was annoyed on the fact that I didn't know what was going on, and so I only see your status was the you know.
Oh, it was mental because I remember just being at the show, being at the front, and there's all these people moshing, spin kicking, and you got me with my camera literally like this, like, oh no. Oh, but yeah,
I thought we'll get back to Rampage in a minute. Just
of course.
yeah. So where do you plan on seeing yourself like going forward?
Ooh, good question. Well, of course, I want to explore different venues. Like, of course, people mainly know that I'm based around shooting in Norwich shows. I've shot at other venues before. I've done one in Brighton, what was around my birthday when I used to have friends over there. But I remember doing that, and that was kind of cool. And of course, quite recently, I went back to the first venue just to reshoot it with a different camera, and it just makes a huge difference. But if I could say something I really want to get myself into, like full time, it's got to be like doing the magazines and all that, like the Rolling Stones magazines, getting like the front cover photo or just some photos in the magazines.
Yeah.
or on websites just makes me feel proud that people are using my work in a good cause.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good target to aim for. I mean, like, it's sort of,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I know you go a lot of metal gigs and you shoot for them and that. So, like, you got things like you say, Rolling Stone magazine. You got like Kerrang. You got Metal Hammer. What was the other one I used to get? When I was a teenager. I'm trying to think of one. Rock Sounds. That's the other one I used to get.
They're still about, and they're still some of the coolest magazine covers. Every time I go past the shops, I always see them and scroll through them.
Yeah. So do you, how much stuff do you do outside of metal and rock shows and that?
So what I do in my free time, pretty much.
Well, I mean, like, do you shoot for like, do you, some of the stuff you shoot, is it like non-music related sort of stuff at all, or is it
I would
just,
say the heavy amount I do. Like as I said, I still want to explore like things. At the same time, I'm like I can't because I love venue photography so much because I've been doing it for 6 years now.
yeah,
But nothing really.
that's, fair enough. Um, yeah, sorry, I
No,
need,
you're fine. You're fine.
uh, so, yeah, apologies everybody. I got myself in a tiz earlier because I lost the link for this just magically disappeared and I got myself really wound up and everything and sort of slightly coming down on that and then the bang in the kitchen threw me out as well. So I massively apologise everybody, but yeah, what's me doing a podcast without me getting flustered over something?
You're fine. You're fine.
um so I mean, like, yeah, we've discussed this before. You're a wrestling fan as well. Would you want to do like shoots for like wrestling shows as well?
Um, if I get the right equipment, definitely it would be a cool opportunity. But of course, I don't really know much local wrestling events, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
But if I didn't know, then I would like to have the chance if they, of course, approach or message me and be like, yeah, give it a shot. Because in a way, it is kind of like venue photography and all the people are moving, but I feel like it's going to be 10 times harder.
I may know a few people I could send your way or
Yeah.
send you their way, which definitely could possibly help you out with that. We'll discuss that later.
We'll shake on it.
Um, so say about I mean, like we started talking about Rampage the other day. I mean, that was I mean, that was mad as hell. That was.
Yeah.
Just, um, uh, well, yeah, actually, they say that. I mean, like, those mosh pits were different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
How do you find it when you're trying to get like the perfect shot? Like someone stood in the perfect lighting, and you think this is going to be a cracking shot, and then next thing you know, three guys land on you as you're about to press the button. Right, that's got to be infuriating, isn't it?
Oh, it is a pain in the backside. I think especially for Metal to the Masses, their mosh pits, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Like, because I remember it was actually with former guest of yours, Celestial, and I remember trying to get this one shot, and I remember just seeing the shot, and I remember thinking, oh, in my camera, of course, with a smaller vision, it looks better, and I was thinking, oh, this is going to be brilliant to post. Went onto my tablet, had a look on it, and I just went, oh, maybe not. But the mosh pits, of course, I always now need to keep an eye on them because so many people, of course, some photographers I know in the local scene are so much more braver than me. Like you got some like standing on the tables, like sitting and taking photos because they got all these big old lenses. I've only got a 50mm, what's a smaller lens, so I can't like zoom in. I literally need to go like this.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm alright with the mosh pits. But I remember when I was first starting, I used to find them scary.
I mean, well, I ain't gonna say too much because I'm one to jump in them. So yeah, it's just sort of, I used to worry about like I've had a knee injury since I was 12. Should I be doing this? And then so like the right song comes on. I'm like, okay then. But
Okay, hold my beer.
yeah, well, the thing is, like I said, I've had knee injury since I was 12, and I found these really good knee straps, which and I feel like a tank then, and then I just hurt like hell for the next 3 days. Cause I'm like,
Oh no.
yeah, I'm definitely mid-30s now. It's just
You'll find man.
but um, I mean, just staying back on that, on the thing of the physics. Have you ever had it where like you've nearly lost your camera at all, where like someone's bundled into you, or like
I did like my first like few years in venue photography, definitely. But recently, I would say yes and no. I think actually yes, I did. I think that was shooting for Party Cannon at the waterfront, because how many people, of course, are at the front because Party Cannon's a massive, big, popular grindcore band, and you've got all these people all cramming in at the front just to watch them, whilst you've got me behind like this, and I'm not a tall person. So when I got all these people standing, I feel like, go on, I got it. No, but it's just like how mental the mosh pit was, because I remember, because they have inflatables, so they throw them around. And I remember just seeing all these people going on. They were doing a circle pit, but I think they were a bit too carried away and bashed into my arm, and the strap went off.
yeah.
Like, I remember just going, literally, like, what the hell was I doing? I remember just standing on the side, just like, did that seriously just happen? But I think, like, my first shows, I remember I still shoot for it. It's a thing called Monsters of Metal at the Hunter Club, and this was my first time meeting a band called Killer Corp. If you've heard of them before,
No, I'm not off the top of my head.
yeah, I shot for them at Beresford Edmonds back in 2022. And I remember when the mosh pit was happening, I got too distracted taking the photos, and people came along, and I remember bollocksing over and broken my camera lens.
Oof.
And I had to shoot for the rest of the show. I literally had to tell the man, I went, I'm getting the next bus home. He went, but you've only just got here. And I went, I don't have any photos. And he was like, oh, right, I can understand. I
Yeah.
was well excited.
Yeah, I mean that sucks that happened anyway. But I suppose if you have if your equipment is damaged, you can't be it's
Yeah,
sort of no point if you're there for the job and you can't do the job sort of thing. Uh oh fuck's sake.
it's all right.
Oh god, sometimes I'll tell you, sometimes ADHD is a curse. Sometimes it's really fun. Other times it's just far ass and a brat. So like, have you got anything like lined up in the future that you're aiming for? As in well, I was aiming for like actually like any work coming up.
Like, do you mean like what you want, what I want to see in the future? That makes sense.
No, like shows you've got up and coming like soon.
Um, I mean, I was meant to shoot for Battlesnake tomorrow. They played that download actually surprisingly this year, but I think I'm probably going to skip on it because I've still got so many photos from Rampage to edit and go through.
Right,
But I'm probably going to sort them out. But I need to. I'm still looking about, seeing what other shows need photographers.
right. Um, I I know you kind of like said about sort of like aiming for like things like certain magazines and stuff, but like stuff like download and Bloodstock and
All the other
fucking and all stuff like that. What are those kind of like shows you'd like really want to go to
definitely
shoot for?
Bloodstock in particular, I would say.
Because
I've
I like that's like gone.
No, sorry. I was going to say about like how Bloodstock. I remember talking to one of the guitarists in Uridium, and he's good mates with the organizer of Bloodstock.
Yeah,
And I remember he said he will pass my name. So hopefully, I'm not saying I will, but hopefully in 2026 I might be shooting for Bloodstock.
Nice.
Might be
So,
an opportunity.
fingers crossed for it. 'Cause, I mean, like, I've done some stuff for the podcast at Metals and Masses shows that, and like, I I find it hard because my brain wants to be there as a fan, so I want to get things involved in it, and they're like, oh shit, I've got to do these little worky bits and stuff like that, and it's kind of like takes like what's the word? Not takes the fun out, but kind of like dampens it a bit.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you ever
kind of.
find that at all? Where like you're like, I
Yeah,
know this band, they're really good. I really enjoy this, but I know I need to do this.
yeah. It's happened to me probably too many times to think because, of course, me being mates with Azure Sky, who were guests on your podcast when you done the episode with them, I remember them shooting, and one of my mates running over to me went, "Come on, take a few photos and join us in the mosh pit." I went, "Mate, I need to take a few photos because if I just take a few and they're all bad, they're not going to like them."
Yeah, yeah.
And I just, in my way, I was like, "Oh, it just makes me kind of get away from my mates, and it's just annoying." But at the same time, it's the job and it's the thing I love.
And I suppose as well, it's like like you say, well, when you're friends with this band or you're a fan of that band and everything, you want to do a good job.
Yeah,
And then you're like, I think I want to really enjoy this, but I need to do this, and yeah, like I say, it's sort of like kind of takes the sting out a bit, doesn't it?
yeah.
Ooh, broke something. Um, so yeah. Oh, fuck's sake. Oh God. Um. Oh God. I just had one as well. I just had it and it went. So.
Right.
Um. This is really unprofessional of me, which is about normal. Um. Oh, Bobby said hello. Hi, Bobby. Um. As a aside from photography, what other like interests like really sort of like snag
Um,
you sort of thing, really sort of like take all
well,
your
yeah, I get what you
your
mean. I'm a big fan of horror movies. I've always been a good fan of them. Like, of course, you can't really tell from my room because of the setup, but I've got a lot of horror DVDs. I like watching them, and I'm a big wrestling fan as well. So, of course, that's kind of like the two main hobbies I really like.
I'm not a big horror person, but what sort of horror things sort of films are your cup of tea?
For me, one of my favorite movies is the original Scream.
Yeah.
It's a classic, one of my favorites, and then I got other movies. Well, not horror, but they still feel like it's like natural born killers. If you've heard of it.
I know the name, not see. Like so I'm not really a horror fan, so I don't know too much. I know a lot of the names, but it's not. I've not seen.
Yeah, and of course, as well, I collect comics as well. So I'm a big. I still do. I like Marvel, DC, and all that type of stuff as well.
Well, where that sort of thing's concerned, because obviously there's always that big DC versus Marvel thing. Which side of the line do you stand?
That's a tough one. Um, if the old me was here right now, he would say Marvel, but at the moment, I would have to say DC.
Um, I'm presuming since you're a comic book fan, you've seen X, Y, Z of the movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
As a comic book fan, how do you feel that it's translated into movie format or TV shows and stuff like that? Sort of.
they make them less different. They make them a lot different than they usually do. Because in the comics, they go proper deep into it. Whilst if you watch the movie, you're like, huh? It's a bit more different than how the movies set out. Because, of course, most of the Marvel movies in particular, they're trying to aim it for everyone.
Yeah.
Some of the older ones in like other movies, like especially the old DC Batman movies, like The Dark Knight Rises with Heath Ledger, they're so dark to watch, and they're still some of my favourites to watch still to this day.
I think a mate of mine at work told me. I think it was is it the Ultimate X-Men or something like that? It's supposed to be like really
Yeah,
like I don't want to say adult themed. What's the right word? They're not aimed at kids. They're very, you know,
graphic.
yeah. They stop becoming. That's when they become graphic novels rather than
Yeah,
comic books. Um, I mean, you said about like yeah, sort of like yeah, they miss X, Y, and Z. I mean, I know. Again, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, but I know a lot of people complain that the Harry Potter movies miss X, Y, and Z, A, B, C, one, two, three out of out of the movies. But when you've got however many page book, a book that thick that you got to fit
yeah,
into a 2 hour movie, that's a lot harder to do. So,
yeah. The
and
skill.
then as you say, it's sort of like like certain things they're trying to make for everybody because at the end of the day they want to make they're a business at the end of the day want to try and make as much money as possible. So they want you taking your kids to go watch it at that because that's an extra few quid there, a few quid there,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But then like the purists are like, hell is this crap?
Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, I know there's still Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings is missing X, Y, and Z out of it. A lot of people I know complained that The Hobbit was overdone, but again, that was just there should have been one movie, not three. But
yeah, but
at
they
the
went.
same time, you got was it the extended Lord of the Rings editions are like 12 hours each film or something like that. Something ridiculous like that, and they're still missing X amount out. Yeah, they turned The Hobbit into a free, into a trilogy rather than one. And they're like, yeah, they didn't need to do that. What?
Yeah, you're like, hold on a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah, you can't win there.
Yeah,
Um, uh, okay, all right. So Marvel and DC favorite superhero from either side. Oh,
oh,
favorite superhero and villain from either side.
oh, no. For Marvel, I would have to say one of my favorite. I don't know if it can count as a superhero for you, but I would have to say Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
That counts. And favorite villain is out of two. It's out of Venom or Loki for Marvel.
See, Venom's kind of weird because like Venom's
It,
kind of like in one universe he's a bad guy, in another universe he's alright.
yeah, like the new movies, he's the good guy, and then when you watch the first like Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, he is the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say that too. Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, he's the bad guy, he's, everything, and yet Tom Hardy, everyone loves Venom.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
spoiler
I
on
think
board.
he sort of more comes under like I suppose it's a bit more the Tom Hardy one. He's like a anti-hero
Yeah,
rather than a hero sort of thing, isn't he?
yeah, I'll get that. And if you wanted to know my favorite in DC as well, Batman will always be my favorite. Love Batman to bits. Just everything about his story, the villains. Like I love everything to do with it. And my favorite villain, I would have to say, is between Joker because he's a classic. You can't go wrong with him. It's everything he's in, including the games, the movies. He's always been a well-rounded, amazing character, like who plays a really good villain. Or there's other people as well. What I just too many to think of, but Batman Who Laughs as well, if that counts as a villain.
I'll take your word on that one. I know like the highlights of everything. I haven't got the big deep dive that everyone else has. I mean, you say about Batman and Joker. That's like my two go tos on the DC side.
I
You
was
know,
like, I was
I
gonna
mean
say,
like excluding Jared Leto, everyone's been a fantastic bloody Joker.
yeah, Joaquin
Yeah,
Phoenix done amazing, but I think when Jared Leto played as Joker in the Suicide Squad movies, they are a fan. They're the first one. I would say is better than the second, but that's just my opinion.
what the Suicide Squad films or the
Yeah,
Joker?
Suicide
Because
Squad.
I mean, there's this clip that I keep seeing on Facebook every now and then, and it's like You know that even the DC universe isn't happy with the Jared Leto one because it was it Teen Titans?
Yeah, Teen Titans.
The thing where they're like trying to get in the Joker's lair or something like that, and they're all doing different impressions, whether it's Jack Nicholson or um uh what, bloody Heath Ledger or I mean my personal favorite Mark Hamill because
Oh,
I grew up watching Star Wars, so the idea of
oh
seeing the
no.
hero of that being the bad guy in Batman is amazing,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Did Mark Hamill voice Joker in the video games as well?
some of them, yeah, I can't say he did all of them, but I know he did a fair few of them.
Oh, should
Because I think he did the Arkham games.
yeah, they're still my favorite games to play. They're brilliant.
I'm gonna look it up quick actually, because
Yeah. I think he played the one in Arkham Asylum, the first one, and that's about it.
right, okay, let's have a look, shall we? Mark Hamill. Uh, there we go. There he is, and uh,
I'm having a look now.
right, okay. So he. I scored that quite a bit here. Mind you, that said that I scored that alone. I've only got a 2023 right now, so.
Oh,
But he's a big old voice actor and that, isn't he? So he's sort of in everything. I mean, like one of the best clips I've seen of Mark Hamill was from one of the Batman cartoons, where he'd voiced Joker. He'd actually played himself, and he'd also played who was it? One of Joker's henchmen. I can't think of what his name is. He voiced all three, and
Two Face.
no, it weren't Two Face. It was quite. Uh, right. Okay. So I just scored that, but he was. Uh, yeah, he was in Justice League Action, which is 2016.
Oh, I'm
Arkham
gonna.
Asylum VR coaster. Um, Batman Arkham VR. Sorry.
Is it the Riddler? Mark Hamill played as well.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that in that clip, but I can hear him play the Riddler in my head. Oh,
That's
the Trickster.
oh,
I think it was because they've kidnapped him and like he's voicing he's voicing he's shouting out like the Joker at Trickster. I think it's Trickster because that sounds right. Who's driving and he's directing him in the wrong places. Right, he's causing like an argument, and my mate posted the video when the first time I saw it, and he said, "Just imagine Mark Hamill being locked in a sound booth with three scripts, being left alone, just to,
that,
you know,
that's they know. Mark Hamill is probably known as one of the best actors by far.
I mean, it's more his voice work,
Yeah.
to be fair. But like, I mean, like I said, when I first brought this thing up, I scrolled down two, three things, quite a couple of pages, and I only went back 2 years, right? So we'll have a nerd out on that later. Uh, um. Back to it. You're a big fan of your horror stuff. What would you say your favorite horror movie is?
Favorite horror movie? Ooh,
I know
that's
I said about Scream. I just thought,
yeah. But if I could say my favorite horror movie, I know they're quite graphic and they're new and they're like the new ones. So I have to say Terrifier.
yeah, I keep threatening on watching them.
They are
Yeah,
good as hell. But my goodness, what a good set of films.
yeah. I kept seeing, I kept hearing about it, and then I was like, "Ah, should I watch it? Should I watch it?" And then it was it the third one that came out that had
Yeah,
Ice Nine Kills for the
yeah.
soundtrack for? And I was like, I mean,
Local Bar, I think it was called. The music video to that is well graphic as well.
yeah, I've been told I got sent because like apparently it's like split up into loads of different videos, and then when you put it all together, it's about 45 minutes, an hour's worth
Yeah,
of. It's like a mini movie
it is.
in, in itself.
Yeah,
Um,
Ice on Kills done an amazing job for that song.
again, that's a band that I keep threatening on, like making sure I sort of like because I hadn't heard about it until like literally a group of my friends went to go watch them. I was like, oh, okay, so that band's apparently a thing. I'll keep an eye out for that sort of thing. And then I see the thing for Terrifier come out. I was like, oh, cool, that sounds really good. I really got a thing out. And then the next thing I know, I'm like a bloody kid listening to them and Real Big Fish cover "Walking on Sunshine."
Oh, they done that in one of the songs by Elvis Presley as well, done a cover of as well, I believe.
All right, I really like. I've got a massive list of like stuff I need to bloody listen to.
Yeah. So many
So,
out there.
yeah, it's just sort of like I was like, I really should listen to this. I really should listen to that. I should watch this movie. I should watch that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie. I really want to watch that. Oh crap, that's 10 years old now, and I still haven't watched it. That's just sort of, you
Yeah,
know.
there's so many movies out there I still need to watch. Like, of course, with horrors, the Marvel and DC movies, there are still, of course, so many amazing movies out there to watch.
Yeah,
Especially as, of course, we were talking about us being fans of wrestling. SummerSlam was when we were at the Rampage Fest, and I just remember just trying to avoid every single spoiler as I possibly could.
yeah. I we had a speak. I think I was supposed to go home and watch it with my daughter, and I fell asleep for the first match.
I don't blame you though. I think what time did you get back? Because I got back around like 1:30.
I think by the time I'm sort of left there, I think it was about midnight we sat down
Yeah,
to see it. So, but it'd been a little bit of a busy day, so I saw I would think it all, and I think I got about 36th minute, and then my daughter was like, "Dad, you'll go to bed. You've dozed off 3 times." I was like, "Okay," just
yeah.
so we just watched it the next morning.
Did you watch it in the end?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we watched it the next morning, and then we stayed up last night to watch night two.
Nice. So,
So
what were your opinions on the match you were talking about with me, CM Punk versus was it Gunther? He was
yeah,
against. Yeah,
yeah. Well, my prediction was wrong because I put down I
yeah.
thought Gunther was going to win. Um,
And I said Punk when we were like walking to the car park, and I just remember what happened. Did I say what happened without spoilers to people if they've watched it already?
I mean, okay. Here's your fair warning. If you haven't watched it, spoiler alert.
I was not expecting Seth Rollins to clash in his Money in the Bank.
No, see that. All right. So for me, my whole thing about Punk not winning was I've been saying since about Mania or just after Mania, the War Games is going to be Seth and his goons, with a couple extra people, and it's going to be Team Anti Seth
Yeah,
versus right. Um, that's what I was thinking. So I was thinking, well, if Punk's champion and he's not gonna thingy in that. They're not gonna put the chat. Why would they put a champion into war games? You'd want
yeah.
him having a title match sort of thing. So I thought
Oh,
Punks can't win, and then because like me and my daughter always sit down and have a little predictions thing anyway, and she said about Punk winning, and that, and then um unfortunately, we had seen the Punk had won beforehand,
oh,
and we were like, "Oh, okay, but that's it. That's all we'd seen. All we'd seen is that
yeah,
Punk won, right?" Because I saw this stupid post that said that Punk is the like first person to win the AEW Championship and the WWE World Championship, and
yeah,
like loads of
yeah,
people on there were like, "There's like 8 people have done that
Yeah.
now. Because you
On
got, oh, well, you got Jericho, Danielson,
Adam,
Moxley, and Punk.
Adam,
So okay, 4 people, not 8, right? Who have all been AEW champion and world heavyweight champion in WWE.
what about Edge or Adam Copeland or whatever it's pronounced?
He hasn't been AEW world champion though, has he?
Oh,
He's been
okay.
champion in there, but he's not been AEW champion.
Oh, right, okay. Because I watched
Um,
the WWE side and AEW, but I still been recommended to watch it because of Will Ospreay, or Ospreay is pronounced.
but personal opinion, right? Where it's concerned, now, I'll watch AEW anyway because I love my wrestling, and I'll watch it anyway because I want. Right, the concept of AEW was fantastic. How it started off was great. Um, During the lockdown era, when they were the Jacksonville Jaguars training facility, um, they put on some really good shows. And the worst thing to happen at AEW is they went back on the road, right?
No.
I don't want to put a downside on your opinion of it before you give it. Just give it a go and see what you like. If you
Yeah,
like your indie wrestling with WWE money behind it, it's great. It's
yeah,
You ever watch Ring of Honor back in the day?
yeah. I know. ROH, I know.
Yeah, it's
Now,
Ring of
yeah,
Honor with WWE money. That's the easiest way to sum it up.
yeah. Like as I said, I've watched like clips of AEW because of all the wrestlers like Darby Allin, who I think is still a machine. I don't know how he does it.
Oh, there's nothing to it, is there? Yeah, he's going. Yeah, I'll jump off something 35 foot in the air, and like go for a tail. Yeah, I'm gonna make Jeff Hardy look like a wuss. Yeah, yeah, it's like and
So true though, because it's like when I remember just seeing like AEW stream moments on YouTube, and I was just seeing him. I was like, the Hardy Boys. Jeff Hardy would never jump off that iron do a swanton bomb. That'd be well
well,
too risky.
well, back there, sort of like 20, 25 years ago. There was one particular thing I can't remember who he was against, but he climbed to the top of the Tron, and they used the big massive Tron. Climbed to the top of that and did a swanton off that onto somebody through a table.
I think that was Bubba Ray Dudley at
Right.
WrestleMania.
And I think this is. I think well, the one that's in my head is like when he was doing a singles run, if I remember correctly. All right. But I
There's
mean,
I remember as well. I remember as well another extreme icon, Shane McMahon, when he jumped off and
yeah, he
that.
did some mad stuff. Like,
Even the coast to coast, I don't know how you could even jump to the other side of the ring like that. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
when you think they're 20 foot rings,
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
mean, like just a sure the sheer leg strength you need to launch yourself there.
yeah.
You know,
Then
just to make contact with them.
yeah, it's crazy.
Although that said, though, I've also seen a wrestling match in a 10 foot ring, and all the guy had to do was fall off the turnbuckle and it'd reach the other guy, and the commentator over the top was like losing his shit. It's just like, how did he get all the way over there? Because he fell over.
Like Jim Ross and all that back in the day. Oh, the commentary was good.
But yeah, I mean, I just say about Darby Allin. I remember some of the dumb shit I've seen him do, like go through glass
Yeah,
tables and stuff, and I'm like, no thanks.
yeah, it's like as well John Moxley. Some bits I've seen, I'm like, ooh, jeez.
Oh yeah, that thing is
And
that match with him and Hangman the other week, and he got slammed
yeah,
on that bed of nails. Fuck that.
yeah, it was like, ooh, no thanks. I think
Right.
as well it was him at Wembley when he got like the sticks and was like someone jammed it in his head and it all like
Yeah.
out and I was like,
The little
ooh,
cocktail skewers and that.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, each their own, and I can enjoy a good hardcore match, but sometimes when you get the death match stuff, I'm a bit. It
ooh.
feels a little unnecessary sometimes, but
It's
fair
like New
play.
Jack back in ECW.
Oh no, because even then, so you see the deathmatch stuff, it makes ECW look like a family show. It's just sort of,
Yeah.
like you're watching ECW, you watch one of them shows, and it's like the ropes are barbed wire, and they're whacking each other with chairs, and all that. Like, oh, that's a
Oh,
bit extreme. And then you look
yeah.
at a deathmatch, and like, yeah,
Oh,
he tried to stab him with a smashed light tube, but what?
oh. It's crazy. Like ECW, even at the time, even TNA, like Abyss, for example, when he had a barbed wire bat or something, and you see
Yeah.
it.
Oh, what do you call that? Oh, that's gonna annoy me now.
Sorry.
No, 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 no. To be honest, I'd forgot about that. In all fairness, but yeah, that bit two before with all them nails sticking out of it, it's like, no thanks.
Yeah, it's like all the hardcore icons like Rob Van Dam and all that. New Jack. There's so ECW was. I remember seeing like snippets of it, and I used to be like, oh, I can't watch that. But now I see them, I'm like, Jesus, this is awesome. Like even I know Horsehead probably were event photographers, but even getting a chance, imagine just shooting for like an hardcore show like that and posting them all in black and white.
Yeah.
Or of course, Instagram has massive guidelines, so it'd be like, no, thank you, no goal. But apparently, some
I don't know. I've seen a fair few bits on Instagram where it's like, I mean,
really,
whether it's they got flagged up at a later date or not, I don't know. But like um, as a wrestler, Big Joe, he's uh, a friend of the pod, and that he do a lot of um, what's it called death matches and that. He was it? I think it was the 2022 tournament of death at CZW. He
I've
won
never
that.
really.
I
Wow.
think it was the 22 one. It was a couple of years ago. Um, but yeah, he's up in, I think it's Yorkshire, wrestling with Rise. You know, I can't remember if I see that he went to do a GCW show or whether he was trying to go on a GCW show. I sort of like I'll see like a few of his stuff, and then
Yeah,
it'll disappear and then I don't see anything for a while, and then I don't know how often he actually posts or whether it's a case of I just haven't seen it or whatever.
yeah.
Um,
I don't actually know most of the like local wrestling shows because I've never really been to them.
I'll
Oh,
give you a list later. There's a
yeah,
fair few around his way, so
yeah.
um,
Even
yeah. Sorry, go on.
oh, sorry, I was gonna say even just a chance to just to take my camera around, just taking photos. I just could imagine just the amount of cool shots I could get.
Yeah. Jump with Joe Wonder. Okay. Bobby said Joe won. Oh, it's the 2023 tournament of death. Big Joe won,
Oh, there you
and
go.
yeah, and he does go to GCW a fair bit. So thanks for that,
Nice.
Bobby.
What's that?
Hold on. How do I do that again? There we go. Show on stage. There we go.
Oh wow, I didn't know you
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah. Um. So stick with wrestling then. Sort of growing up, who it was sort of wrestlers that were, your guy or guys, girls, whatever, growing up then.
That's a tough one. I would have to say the OG Hardy Boys. I used to love seeing them all the time. Randy Orton, the Legend Killer, as how I knew him, and because I remember his one with Evolution. But I would have to say for me, it's got to be Randy Orton. Always will be one of my favourites.
Yeah. So I mean, I got into wrestling like 2001, 2002 ish. I was in for about a year, and then stopped watching it, and then about 2000, late 2008, I started watching it again,
Yeah,
and then uh uh yeah, I got into it just as the 2009 Randy Orton was starting to emerge. What was the show called? Unforgiven, I think it was. They
yeah,
had those championship scramble matches, which I thought was a cool concept, but they
yeah.
only had it
They
on
don't
that one
do that.
show. Huh?
They don't do stuff like that anymore.
Nah, so like, I mean, like the thing is, I mean, if anyone's going to bring that kind of match back, it'll probably be like an indie company, and that for some reason they didn't stick with it. I personally really enjoyed it, but like that was literally the first show I'd watched in God 5, 6, 7 years, right? And that was literally the night that Randy Orton formed Legacy,
Is that with Ted DiBiase Jr.? Weren't
Yeah, had
it?
Ted DiBiase Jr.,
Cody.
Cody Rhodes, and I can't think of what the other guy's name was, but he wasn't. He was only in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I only remember Ted DiBiase Jr. and Cody Rhodes being in it.
Because they were the tag team champions. Because they then lost them to CM Punk and Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, that was.
And then sort of
Um,
like they were just sort of like thugging about for the rest of the year, and then that January, Randy won the Royal Rumble, and then
oh Jesus, yeah,
yeah, and proceeded to seek revenge on Triple H after what happened when they were at the end
yeah,
of Evolution, and yeah, that's like I know it sounds a bit like a broken record, but like 2009 Randy Orton was amazing.
yeah. And now you see him now, I feel like he's on his peak of retirement.
I don't know though. It's like I still think he is absolutely brilliant, but it's the
Oh
fact that like he's mid 40s now, so he's being a bit more careful with himself.
yeah, no more
Um,
cameos. You don't see them often anymore.
oh, I don't know. Bobby's supposed to hear. Joe had just got back about Big Joe. He had a death match with Trent Seven in Rise recently.
Wow, no, that's crazy.
I tell you what, I would never have had Trent Seven doing a death match.
No,
Like a hardcore match, yeah. It's just like I mean, no, just about every wrestler's done done a hardcore match, but a death match that's a new one. That's like I mean, you know, anybody for the big strong boys, I couldn't see any of them actually doing a death match. I mean, like that's just because I'm not used to the idea of it. But then again, so like, if you told me about Mox doing a death match after he left WWE, I'd have gone nah.
nah,
You
you
know,
wouldn't because everyone knew him as Dean Ambrose and all this, but he was still, of course, the lunatic fringe. That's how people knew him, but of course he was really light with it with Dodo because I feel like Dodo is kind of like a lot more mild audience, but still brilliant to watch. Whilst for AEW, it's more for the hardcore fans.
I mean, just say about it, like you say he was lunatic fringe as Dean Ambrose, which like I say, a hardcore match. Everyone does hardcore matches. Some are more likely to do hardcore matches than others. Like Dean Ambrose would have been one of them, right? And when you think of like post everything like opening up again, he become GCW world champion, which GCW is like what I'm not gonna say they are the top, but I can't say that they're not either. They're definitely right up there of
Yeah.
death matches, death match wrestling. Right, they're right up there. I suppose the biggest surprise about becoming their world champion was Matt Cardona.
Oh, Zack Ryder.
Right, because like I mean like okay, so what was it? When Kofi Kingston got his push to become world champion, right? I thought you know what that yeah, because I liked Kofi anyway.
Yeah.
I thought, that's probably one of those things that's a real good catalyst to allow guys like Dolph Ziggler getting more shots up
He's
there.
named now
Or
to. Is it Nick Neneth now, isn't it? Nick
yeah,
Neneth? Yeah.
yeah. Get him a bit more of a shot round there in the world title picture. Get the Miz more in there. That generation coming through to be replacing, the kind of like missed since like Taker's not in that picture. It wasn't in that picture anymore. Cena was kind of like slowing down a bit. Randy was taking his foot off the pedal. But don't get me wrong, you had CM Punk had gone for ages at that point.
Yeah.
You had Roman, you had Seth, you had Dean Ambrose was gone, but you had Roman Reigns, you had Seth Rollins, you had Drew McIntyre. But
McIntyre, yeah.
your choice of world champions had gone from like that much to that much, and it's kind of like you need to sort of like just pack it out a little bit more. And like I said, with Kofi winning, I thought that opens the door up to quite a few. And I'd even thought to myself, you know what, Zack Ryder becoming world champion at some point, like, give him a good old push.
Yeah.
Everything right. I mean, you look at his WWE run. There is nothing he said no to, almost, right? You know, we need you to be a moron. Okay, all right, I got that. We need you to spend the next 6 months getting your ass whooped by everyone we're trying to make look good. Okay, then. We're going to give you a WrestleMania moment. You are going to become the Intercontinental Champion.
I remember
Sweet.
that.
All right. You're going to lose it tomorrow.
I,
Right, you're
I
gonna climb the ladder. You're gonna bring that belt down. You're gonna be absolutely great. And then the rematch on the Monday the next night, you're not gonna be champion again.
yeah, he's done an amazing career. Like it was, I think WrestleMania 31, I believe that match was. That's when Cody Rhodes was Stardust.
That was because that was the was that the same? That was that the same night that Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the
Yeah,
Bank?
against Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
You know, Brock Lesnar, he's returned, hasn't he?
yeah. That's that was a surprise and a half. I mean,
Oh, when I heard the song, I was like, oh, for sake, no.
I was kind of bouncing around the living room like a kid. It's sort of like because I was chatting with my daughter after when Seth came out on night one. I was like, oh hello, but I see him come out of the crutches, and I see Paul had the briefcase and everything,
Yeah.
and I said to my daughter, I said, oh, I think he's letting everyone know that he's not hurt that bad,
It's just really
right?
the off and just went in the ring. I was like, that is such a cool way to do it.
Well, the thing is, like, because I mean, I've yeah, I said earlier, I've had knee injuries since I was 12. So like, if I see anyone else have a knee injury, I'm cringy as no,
Yeah.
no thanks. Sort of. And when I see that he did that moonsault and then tweaked his knee, I was like, oh no,
Yeah, it
yeah,
looked.
yeah, and so it was. We're trying to think like that's either a story mode, a storyline, right, or he tweaked it. They thought the worst. He's had a couple of weeks off just to make sure he's back thing. Right, he's got the green light from everyone. I'm back, and what better way to do that?
Well done to him though. And then of course when Brock Lesnar returned, I was like, oh no, is he going to go for Seth Rollins because Paul Heyman's with him, or is he going to be against Cena?
Oh, that's definitely a Cena. He
Yeah,
think he beat the Cena. I. What's your opinion about this sudden turn back for Cena?
I feel like it's really odd in my opinion. I feel like he was interesting as a heel, and of course the memes were everywhere on my For You page of
Yeah,
him hugging Cody Rhodes, and he has that frown on his face, like
he was like Terminator. He's
yeah. But it was just like how he just really just didn't care whatsoever. But then it felt weird because I know him as a face. Because I remember seeing him, of course, being a face in WWE, but seeing him as a heel, I feel like it was weird, but it was still quite a cool one.
So I remember watching the turn, and I had to like because I'd stayed up to watch it. I was like a little kid, right? And I was trying, so I was like, oh my god, and I was trying to like, there's neighbours and everyone's in bed, and sort of,
Only probably watching WWE in the UK because it's always on at like 12 o'clock at night.
yeah, and then the good stuff happens at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Just sort of,
Like, yes,
right.
wait.
And and like, because I've been saying for ages, like, because I hold my hands up. I would have been the person in the crowd shouting, "John Cena sucks," right? And you
So
can't
would I.
wrestle and all this and the other, right? For because like it's just like it's for me, his character's too goody two shoes. That's all it is, yeah. John
Yeah.
Cena wrestler, I'll boo. John Cena the man, I'll buy him a beer and have a chat with him, right? Yeah, sort of thing, right? And but I was there for ages. Like you got to, he's got to turn. He's got to turn. That's he's like everyone boos him all the time. So like you got right, and then like you see again, you see all the stuff he does outside the ring with the Make a Wish, all the
Yeah.
charity work and stuff. Right, he's always he's a goofball in almost every movie he's in. I think the only three serious roles I've seen him in was the wrestler, the Marine, and the first of the Fast and Furious films he did.
Yeah, and I would have to say that, and the new one with Idris Elba as well.
What? I've seen the advert for that, but I mean, he looks a bit more of a goofball in that one. But yeah,
Yeah,
but I've not watched it yet, so I can't judge
yeah,
say too much. Um, what's it called? Yeah, so like all that sort of stuff, and then he's hurt, all right, and then like yeah, this is gonna be his last year. I was like, well, it was wishful thinking, right? Then of course he turns at Chamber like, oh, hello, and I was like, how can yeah, his last year as being a bad guy, and like you think
yeah.
all these places he's gonna go, all these kids and like sort of like anybody under 30 is going to be like, I grew up watching him. I love him. I finally get to see him, and he's a knobhead, right? Right.
It's
That's what
like
I
when
mean.
he was at the conference, like when people meet him and he done the punching bag. They're like, "Oh, can you punch it for us?" And then he just does, of course, like a punch like that just to show. And he's like, and everyone's like, "What is he doing?" And he's like, "I haven't punched person for years." I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
Uh, but yeah, like he turned face again. Sorry, he turned heel, and I thought, oh, okay then. And I thought, in the group chat for the pod now, I was saying like he's got to turn babyface before the end of the year. He
Yeah,
can't go out a bad guy, right?
he can't be.
I had no issue with him breaking the world championship record and everything. I had no issue with that, but like, so that's got to be celebrated, not booed,
Yeah,
right? And then when he watching SmackDown, he's like, yeah, that ass whooping was what I needed. It was blah blah blah. It's a wake up call. I'm gonna give you the Cena that you wanted. And I'm like, nah, this is a ruse. He's not magically become a good guy again,
yeah.
surely.
It's
And
got
then
one
nope,
little
he gone.
promo make him all happy, you know.
Yeah, it's just it was just weird. But like the thing is, it's like it's got to be he's bad guy long enough to justify turning bad guy, but then he's got to turn good guy long enough to be a good guy for the rest of the year, and everybody's happy about it, rather than just oh, this is a quick scramble. Um, but and then sort of like immediately having Lesnar come out, and then Lesnar beats the shit out of him. We're kind of like, well, he's not after. He's handed the torch over to Cody, and now Brock's going to beat the shit out of him.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome. I'm curious to see what Dodo has got in store.
Well, I was saying to my daughter this morning where I was concerned. They're not having a match at
What?
Clash in Paris, which is the next one. That'll be in Australia for Crown Jewel.
Oh, Crown Jewel is next.
No, you got Clash in Paris, which is the end of the month, which is on
Oh,
the 31st, and then it's the 11th of October, I believe.
okay.
Clash in is I just said it, bloody
Clash
Crown
of
Jewel.
oh, yeah.
But then, I mean, like, because we were trying to work out what PLEs are left, and like how many Saturday night main events are going to be announced between now and the end of the year as well. Because I don't know how far ahead they actually book them
Yeah.
or what. But
But I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do.
I'll be honest, I'm more excited to see what the thing with Seth Rollins. If I'm honest, at the two endings of the night, that's the ones I'm more excited for.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Um, Screw it, I'm going to talk about the Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus the Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, right?
Yeah.
Possibly the funniest thing I think I've ever seen about trying to break a fight up. Um, they Jay decided that he wanted to rewind and start yeeting everything.
Yeah.
So like the other guys are out the ring. They say he's up in the corner, he's waving his arms about everything. They grab Roman and yank him out, start beating the crap out of him. Right. So normal things that we've seen where someone's quite happy to jump in the air, right? Jay is up on the corner anyway. He's going to jump on and break the fight up. He missed everybody except for Roman.
I know. I was like, oh.
Like, I mean, I've never known anything where someone's gone to break a fight up by punching their friend in the face. It's like I'm just gonna throw my body out and miss everyone that's beating my cousin up and just land on my cousin.
He's just like, heads up. Oh shit.
I'm glad we weren't the only ones that thought that.
Oh no, I couldn't stop laughing. I was trying so hard not to laugh. I saw it and I went, what was he doing?
Because like they're all like huddled together. It's like the only reason the other two guys went down is because they were touching Roman as they landed. Oh,
Roman.
ball down.
Heads up, Roman.
uh,
I think
so,
it's like when you have like funny moments, just even in like person. I think like when we were talking about Rampage, we had a funny moment with one of the bands, didn't we? Engine. The band when the man looked like he was definitely on something, but
oh yeah, on the ramp stage, yeah.
What on earth was it?
I don't know. It's like I was like, it's. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to take the mick if there was something going on, but it's like watching like, is he having a breakdown? Is there?
I was speaking to the drummer because he messaged me on Instagram, and
Yeah.
I said, "Is that a part of the show? Is that what he does?" He went, "Oh, that's not the worst of it. He's gave me whiplash before," and I was like, "Fucking hell!"
Just so everyone knows what happened is he was singing, and they were absolutely fantastic. They were brilliant, right?
Unreal.
But like he would go around and he'd like at one point he'd gone up on one of the because it was at the cassette skate park in Lidsport, and this particular stage was set up on a half pipe, on one of the smaller half pipes, and they had the speakers up on the sides, and at one point really early on he'd gone up one side and climbed up and sat on the speaker.
He was just laying on it like this.
And like, oh, okay, all right,
when I looked at you,
and
like, what's going on?
right, and as he'd be thinking, he'd be hitting the mic in his head and stuff. All right, okay, not the. I'm a sort of Prevail fan, so that's not exactly unnormal to me. Yeah. But yeah, it was just sort of like light taps and that, and then he'd be singing, and then he'd like grab the guitarist's guitar as he's walking past, and like the guy's still trying to play. It's like that's a bit odd, or swinging off the bass player's strap, or
yeah, he wrapped himself around the strap and like moving along with him like this. I was like, what is he doing?
one point he'd like pulled the drummer off his stool, and it was like, what? Like, I like we're just like not understanding what's going on at all. Yeah, absolute credit to everyone there because they're still playing, right?
Yeah.
And like the whole thing was great. I mean, the only aside from those kind of bits and pieces, the bass player's one of his strings broke, which that's playing music, isn't it? It's just kind of like it's one of the things I've never. I can't say I remember ever seeing it happen, although that happened to someone else later on as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so whatever was going on there, they were still absolutely fantastic.
Oh, absolute incredible band. It's just when he was just climbing around the drums, and I was like, what is he doing? One of the photos I got of him, he's literally behind him like this, and a smiling with a massive smile on his face, and I went, oh, this is definitely getting posted. Was going to be all shed, and it just made me laugh. I think as well, it was like when he was on the ramp and he nosedived down, didn't he? When he went like down like nose first and went like that, and we were like, I think everyone was just not expecting it to happen.
I'll be honest with you, there's so much going on. I don't remember that part, but it's like I say, there's so much going on here. It's like what?
Yeah. I got so many, like the photos I have already are just some of the funniest photos. Like, I saw it and I was like, I have never laughed. Like, can I see if I can show you on my phone on here?
Yeah, go for it if you can.
If I can, then that's incredible. But oh no, thinking thing. But look, there you go.
So,
In the,
See if it's better on the iPad because I can't see it, but
yeah.
everything's like this big on my phone.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I see it. It's about.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram highlights as well, and Rampage on Instagram, so people can see like how nuts it is.
Uh, well, like I said, that was absolutely. The whole day was fantastic. To be fair,
Oh,
was it Yellow Tape?
yeah, yellow
Um,
promotions.
right. They put an absolute killer show on. Right, two stages running. One indoors. Let's say on the half pipe, and then a trailer out the back. And yeah, it was like what couple of minutes in between.
Yeah, it was like one will be inside and then one will be straight away outside. So it's like,
Um,
oh,
what was it? Chaos Rain headliner.
oh,
All right.
sick. What an
Oh my
amazing band.
god. All right. I mean, like, if so, over the top there was a girder to
Oh,
watch the singer climb up the side of the ramp with the mic in his hand, and then start Spider-Man crawling across this girder, still screaming. Right? It was
it's
like,
how?
what?
I
It
think
was just
the
mental.
photo I got, by the way, it was perfect, by the way, all in focus. It's such a nice shot.
Oh,
I'll make sure
and
so you can see it after the podcast. But it is such an amazing shot. It's brilliant.
I honestly, like, I've not known about shows in Lynn since I was 16. It's been a couple of minutes since I was 16.
That
You
was
know,
my favorite in Lens, Kings Lane.
yeah. Like the last show I went, well, right, okay, the last two shows I've been to in Lynn, I was one last summer, I think it was. Eyes of Nihilist did a show in the Last
Oh,
House.
wait.
Um, they they headlined. They had Celestial. Was it Celestial Archetypes? No, Archives. That was it.
Oh, Archives. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
who.
And was there another one? Or was it just them three? Um, the
I don't
three I
remember.
remember off the top of my head. If I've missed one, I apologise. Um, and I mean that was a great night. That was because it was nice. I could actually go and relax, and I didn't have to worry about driving back. Right.
Yeah.
Um, and then the last thing I went to that was at the Blue and Gold at the Kingsley Football Stadium when I was 16. So, yeah, that was just. I mean, like we're talking like literally like 2 months shy of 20 years ago. So it's like,
Wow.
it's only been sort of like I know I mention them a lot and everything, but sort of like friends of ours, Celestial, um, me and Rob went to school together,
Oh, oh,
and um, like we knew each. Well, I feel horrible for this because he remembers me in primary school more than I do because like it was like infants, and then he
yeah.
moved away, but then when we got to high school, we ended up at the same high school and we become friends again there, right?
Oh,
And then a couple of years later, he moves away. A couple of months later, that I move away, and we end up at the same high school again,
oh my God.
right? Yeah, right. Friends all the way for the rest of that. A couple of years after, like leave school. I mean, I pretty much lost contact with nearly everyone I knew after leaving school. Everyone just went different avenues and that. And Facebook starts up a couple of years later. Yeah, add everyone from school, don't you? And then sort of like the odd little comment, likes and all that sort of crap here and there. And then tail end of 22, he messaged me. He goes, "I'm doing something for my new band. I need your opinion on something. I don't have a musical bone in my body, right?" So like, I was like, "Okay." So he pinged me out. I told him what I thought about it. He was like, "My band's got this thing happening next April. It was right. You should come down." I was like, "Yeah, I'll see what happens." All that sort of shit, right? literally fast less than. I mean that was what September-ish. I think I was, if I remember correctly. It was tail end of summer.
Yeah.
Right, and that, and then literally like the start of March. Sorry, the start of April that following year, I move house. Who lives in the row of houses behind me?
Oh my goodness.
Right. It was like, and there's someone over watching that we've got to be friends. You know what I mean? Sort of thing. Right. I
Yeah.
mean, he's moved into Lynn with his missus since that. But we keep joking, saying like we'll give it we'll give it another year or so, and I'll be moving back into Lynn like round the corner for me, sort of. Yeah. Um. But yeah, with I was literally at Celestial's first gig and that and everything, and going over Norwich Way was originally just supporting them, and now
Yeah.
going out seeing extra stuff. Yeah, all. Yeah, so that's sort of sparked all my thing for music
But
again.
in a way, Celestial was the one to help you find more music around the Norwich scene, would you say?
Yeah, because like that's the thing. It's like okay. I even tried to look for music around this way, right? Couldn't find nothing. So everything was all Norwich way and whatnot. Yeah. They were what sparked my thing for thinking music, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, we actually do gigs in Lynn.
Oh,
Oh, I've just lived there like my entire life and just sort of like,
just known, just now. That's crazy. Yeah,
yeah.
Rampage, the first show in Kingsland, and it didn't disappoint.
Well, was it their next one they're doing December? They said, didn't they?
Yeah, 2 days though, so I don't know. I'll probably go shoot for it, but at the same time, I need to think, how the hell am I going to do this for 2 days?
Yeah, see the issue for me is like it's Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's just kind of like how can I balance it around Christmas and you know, but
yeah.
I definitely have the intent of going,
I am
right?
thinking about it. It's just travel for me is the only problem, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. So because I mean you're what 40 minutes out in you, so
Yeah.
but I drink or drive off now. So aside from music, wrestling, your horror movies, uh, what sort of other sort of nerdy stuff sort of tickles your pickle if you.
My face, I was like, what? um, I don't actually know if I'm honest with you. Like, yeah, I would say they're like the key things. Of course, I would say I like art because that's the first thing I started before I got into photography.
Yeah,
So it's a huge leap to what I do, of course, now because it's when I was talking about college. I didn't start with photography. I did start doing an art diploma and then done photography because of an old friend,
yeah,
and what sparked my interest in like, oh, I want to give it a go. And then my mates were in the music course in college, of course. It all happened from me meeting them there. If they didn't do music or they didn't even invite me, I think I would have not even done what I've done today. What is kind of sad to think, but it's just crazy to think. If my mate didn't say, "Oh, we're doing this college gig after college. Do you want to come down and just shoot for it and give it a try?" I would have not met my best friend at that show, who I still keep in contact with, and then I would have never had the opportunity to even meet you and then all the bands who I've worked with.
it's amazing how one message could set so much up. Like, like I said, like for me, like getting that message from Rob the other year out of the blue sparked that up, right? I randomly messaged Teggy. That's just for everybody, that's the singer of Celestial.
Oh, Liam.
Uh, uh yeah, Liam. What about? I think it was like the Tuesday, the Monday or Tuesday before their semi final of Melt to the Masses, and I was like, yeah, I mean, they'd been on the pod before, but I was like, hey, you fancy doing like a couple of minute chat before the show? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. I thought, okay, what are the chances the other guys will be, the other bands will be up for it? And then I pinged all them, and it was like that, and then got to the final and pinged all them. You know what I mean? It's like I said, just sending. Like I said, Rob randomly messaged me the other year, open the door for this. Me sending one text message the other month, open the door for something else.
Yeah.
All right, you got a message. You got a message saying, "Hey, you fancy going to do this?" And it's open a door, massive door for you. Like I said, it's just amazing how like one message, one text, whatever, can just change so much.
Yeah, it's crazy to think because, of course, as I used to do art, I remember just not really. It was like, yes, I saw a spark in it, but I never saw like the future with it. If that kind of makes sense, not me being rude to artists because I love art a bit and I support everything to do with anything to art, but I couldn't see myself doing it because I could never draw stuff from the top of my head. I always had to look at images, but never could make my own things. I always had to look at pictures and then draw like that, like the old fashioned way. But when I had the leap about my mates doing that music gig back in one of my first shows, I just remember just going, wow, if I didn't even go to that show, I would have never been introduced to the venue when I first started out, and then moved my way outboard to Norwich, Cambridge for other gigs because I've shot in Cambridge before, and of course Norwich is the most common where you've seen me.
Yeah. So, um, I remember we spoke before. You play video games, don't you?
Pardon?
You play games and that, don't you?
I do.
What's your kind of go tos?
My go-to games at the moment, I would have to say I'm playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 because I used to play on the PS2,
Yeah,
and I know, of course, it's related to the I play the WWE games. They're a good laugh. They're a good fun game to play. It's just like if I'm finished editing a few photos, I just sit down, get my AirPods on, and just play a few games and just have a laugh and just being the shit out of wrestlers in the game for a laugh.
just escape the world for 20 minutes, half hour, an hour, whatever. Just
Yeah, it's just peaceful. But of
yeah,
course, other stuff I do as well. I walk my dog as well, just like others little bits. So it's kind of nice, really.
I kind of got the dog you got. I'm being nosy.
I got two dogs. I got a little Chihuahua called Jack Russell called Ted. He's just a little old man, I call him. He's 13, and then I got a Cocker Spaniel called Basil, who's a lively little shit.
You sort of gather that with the word spaniel.
Yeah, mention the word Spaniel, and you're like, oh, well, I bet that's a handful.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the dogs have got springs for legs, haven't they?
Literally.
Uh, but all right, I think we've had a, what's the word?
Had our chat.
Shit, fucking brain turned off again. um, yeah, I think it's about time we sort of close the end. Thank you so ever so much for coming on.
Of course, thank you for this.
I have got one final question for you, which is extremely important. I'm gonna get your elder Bobby from it. I don't care. What's your favorite dinosaur?
What? It's a dinosaur. Oh, I don't know because I know it's a dinosaur. I'll say a T Rex because it reminds me when I had my camera a bit like this.
All right. Okay. Thanks ever so much again for coming on.
Yeah, no worries.
Uh. Uh. Sophie. Okay, I'm gonna butcher that last name, and I apologize.
Oh, that's Sophie. Hello.
I mean, Stegosaurus is a good shout. Yeah, I'm dino nerd anyway. So like, it's like my favorite dinosaurs is yes, Right. uh, but again, yeah, thank you again for coming on. Socials. How can everyone find you?
They can find me on Instagram at the name in the brackets here. You can see the MH_photography03, or on Facebook at Mason Howes, where spelled HOWES.
All right. Thanks everybody for stopping by and watching and commenting and everything. And putting up with me being an idiot like normal. Again, thank you, Mason, for coming on. We will. I'll see you around next time.
I'll see you at the next gig.
Yeah, I do. Oh God, when is next gig?
We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I'll find out soon. Oh, crap, I broke something. I broke something. I hit the desk and everything fell down. Right. Oh God.
What a way to end
I'm attempting to be a professional. Right. All right. Thank you everybody once again. Right, I'm gonna go before I set something on fire. All right. Thank you. Good night.